On a quiet evening at dusk, a 13-year-old girl stood alone in the rain behind her apartment building. A soft orange streetlight glowed above her, reflecting against the wet pavement. The world felt distant, heavy, still. Beneath a broken wooden bench, she noticed something small. A tiny white and gray kitten trembling softly, one ear folded at the tip, wide amber eyes shining in the dim light. He didn't run. He didn't cry. He simply waited. And in that quiet moment, loneliness met hope. That night in her small bedroom, warm lamplight wrapped the walls in gold. She sat on her bed, holding the kitten carefully in her hands. He was so small, curled perfectly into her palms, his tiny body rising and falling with each gentle breath. Outside, the night stretched endlessly, but inside that room, something had changed. For the first time in a long while, she didn't feel alone. Days turned into weeks. Afternoons became softer. She would sit at her wooden desk doing homework, and the kitten would sprawl across her notebook, placing his paw over her writing as if he were helping. Sunlight streamed through the window. She smiled more. The apartment felt warmer. Silence no longer felt empty. It felt shared. As time passed, the kitten grew into a graceful cat. On warm evenings, they sat together on the balcony. The sky glowed gold and pink as the city hummed quietly below. The cat watched pigeons with focused curiosity. She watched him with quiet affection. In those simple sunsets, she found peace. Years slipped by gently. The small kitten became older, slower, softer around the edges, and the young girl grew taller, stronger, braver. They grew side by side, in the same apartment, beneath the same window, with the same quiet love. Until one winter evening, when snow pressed softly against the glass. The cat moved carefully now. He slept longer in the warmth of lamplight. She knelt beside him, brushing her fingers gently through his fur, her heart filled with a quiet understanding. Time, once unnoticed, had caught up with them. In a softly lit clinic room, she held him wrapped in a light blanket. Tears slipped down her cheeks, but her hands remained steady. He rested peacefully in her arms. There was no fear, only love. And in that tender moment, she said goodbye. The apartment was quiet again. Sunlight returned to the windowsill, but the space where he once sat remained empty. One afternoon, she noticed a small scratch in the wooden frame, a mark he had left behind. She traced it gently with her fingers. Love does not disappear. It leaves traces in wood, in memory, in the shape of who we become. Years later, in a new apartment in a new city, rain tapped softly against the window once more. She sat on the couch, and beside her curled a small kitten. Different markings, different eyes, but the same warmth. She smiled softly as she watched the rain fall. Love had not faded, it had grown. And in the gentle rhythm of the rain, she remembered, not with sadness, but with gratitude, because once, on a rainy evening long ago, a tiny kitten had chosen her, and because of that, she had learned how to love and how to let go without ever losing it.